Welcome to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, a story about Hollywood, ambition, and one woman who treated marriage like a career ladder and still somehow became a legend. 7 husbands, 1 true love, and enough emotional chaos to fuel an entire industry. This is the glamorous, heartbreaking tale of how Evelyn Hugo survived old Hollywood by lying beautifully, loving secretly, and leaving a trail of ex-husbands behind her like discarded red carpet accessories. Let's begin! Before we continue with the story, making our videos takes plenty of caffeine, chaos, and too many snacks, but we love every moment of it. If you enjoy our unhinged humor and dramatic recaps, please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps us keep creating more ridiculous, story-driven chaos and tells YouTube we exist. Stick around, join the madness, and help this little corner of the internet grow. Now, back to the story. Hollywood icon Evelyn Hugo, famous for 7 husbands and decades of carefully curated lies, suddenly decides she's ready to tell the truth. Naturally, she does not choose a celebrated journalist or a best-selling biographer. Instead, she selects Monique Grant, competent, overlooked, and deeply confused by her sudden relevance. Evelyn refuses to explain her choice because if there's one thing she's good at, it's withholding information for dramatic effect. At Evelyn's extravagant New York apartment, the rules are established immediately. Evelyn will tell her story exactly as it happened, ugly truths included. No edits, no moral commentary, no attempts to make her more likable than she was. The book will be published only after her death, ensuring that no studio, publicist, or fragile Hollywood ego can interfere. Monique's role is to listen, write, and resist the urge to scream, "What do you mean?" every 5 minutes. Evelyn's presence alone is overwhelming. Even old and sick, she controls the room with ease. She speaks with certainty, unapologetic and calm, as if she has already judged herself and found no reason to beg for forgiveness. This is not a redemption arc, it's a confession. The story begins in Hell's Kitchen, where Evelyn grows up poor, Cuban American, and painfully aware that survival is not guaranteed. Her mother dies young. Her father is abusive. From an early age, Evelyn understands that beauty is currency and staying means suffocating. Love is a luxury she cannot afford. By the time Evelyn finishes explaining her childhood, one thing is clear. The 7 husbands were never fairy tale milestones. They were exits, shields, strategies, and sometimes mistakes. She leans back, ready to name the first. Husband number 1. Ernie Diaz is not a love story, he is transportation. Growing up in Hell's Kitchen has taught Evelyn one thing very clearly. Staying means losing. When Ernie offers marriage and a way out, Evelyn doesn't hesitate. She doesn't marry him because she loves him. She marries him because he represents freedom. Romance is irrelevant when survival is on the line. In Los Angeles, the cracks appear immediately. Ernie expects a wife who cooks, cleans, and builds a quiet life. Evelyn expects auditions, cameras, and escape velocity. While Ernie works, Evelyn studies Hollywood like it's a battlefield map. She understands that the industry doesn't reward talent, it rewards marketability. And she's very marketable. Once the studios notice her, everything changes. Her name, her hair, her heritage, all adjusted to fit a palatable fantasy. Evelyn Herrera is erased. Evelyn Hugo is created. And there is no room in that narrative for Ernie Diaz. The divorce is swift, clean, and emotionally distant. Husband number 1 has served his purpose. Then comes husband number 2, Don Adler, Hollywood royalty with a perfect smile and a famous last name. Their marriage is a publicity dream, 2 stars in love, dazzling on screen and off. Privately, Don grows smaller as Evelyn grows bigger. His insecurity turns violent, and Hollywood chooses not to notice. Evelyn endures longer than she should, because leaving too early would cost her everything. She waits, calculates, and finally leaves when her power outweighs his protection. The lesson is clear. Hollywood forgives men, but only powerful women survive them. After Don, Evelyn is free and careless. Husband number 3, Mick Riva, happens in a blur of alcohol, charm, and very poor decision-making. One night, one party, and suddenly she's married to a rock star she barely knows. Romance does not make an appearance. The next morning brings clarity and horror. Evelyn arranges an annulment with impressive efficiency. The marriage is over almost as soon as it begins, but the chaos serves a purpose. The press shifts focus. Don Adler fades from the headlines. Mick gets a story to tell forever. Evelyn gets her narrative back. By the time Evelyn Hugo learned the rules of Hollywood, she had already mastered the art of surviving people. She understood that love was optional, honesty was dangerous, and image was everything. Every smile was calculated, every marriage a negotiation, every silence a form of self-defense. The world saw glamour and scandal, but behind it all was a woman constantly choosing survival over sincerity. And somehow, against all odds, that choice turned her into a legend. Then comes husband number 4, Rex North, and this time, nothing is accidental. Rex is handsome, charming, and perfect for the cameras. Their relationship is fabricated from the start, a mutual agreement to sell romance without feeling it. Hollywood eats it up. Evelyn Hugo never pretended to be good, only effective. She treated Hollywood like a game that rewarded beauty, silence, and strategic marriages. The public called it romance, the studios called it branding, and Evelyn called it survival. Every scandal was managed, every heartbreak contained, and every truth postponed. In the end, the performance lasted longer than most of her marriages. Behind the scenes, Evelyn's real life belongs to Celia St. James. Their love is intense, private, and constantly under threat. Rex provides cover. When he cheats, Evelyn is relieved. They divorce quietly, professionally, and without damage. The illusion dissolves, but the secret love remains. Husband number 5. Harry Cameron is not a strategy or a mistake. He is Evelyn's best friend. He understands her, supports her, and, crucially, is gay. Their marriage is built on honesty and protection, not lies between them, but lies to the world. With Harry, Evelyn finally has safety. Behind closed doors, she reunites with Celia. Harry lives with John Braverman, his true love and the husband of Celia. Yes, it is complicated, I know, but for a while, this strange arrangement works. It is imperfect, but it is real. This fragile balance breaks when Evelyn becomes pregnant to maintain appearances. Celia cannot accept another reminder that Evelyn will always choose survival over openness. She leaves. Evelyn raises her daughter Connor with Harry, forming a family that actually functions. Then tragedy strikes. John dies suddenly. Harry collapses under grief. One night, drunk and broken, Harry crashes a car. He dies. Evelyn survives. The life she almost had disappears forever. And this incident changes Evelyn forever. Grief makes Evelyn vulnerable. Husband number 6. Max Gerard steps in with admiration and promises. He has loved Evelyn Hugo from afar for years. Unfortunately, he does not love the real woman. Max wants the myth, the star, the legend, the trophy. When Evelyn shows her ambition, ruthlessness, and scars, he recoils. The marriage falls apart quickly. Evelyn leaves before she can be reduced to an idea again. Then Celia returns. Older, ill, hopeful. Evelyn leaves Hollywood entirely to be with her. They live quietly, intentionally, and lovingly, knowing time is limited. Celia dies. Later, Evelyn outlives everyone she loves. Fame becomes meaningless. After decades of fame, loss, and strategic survival, Evelyn Hugo reaches the quietest chapter of her life. Husband number 7. Robert Jameson, Celia St. James's brother, is not a romantic climax or a publicity move. He is companionship. After Celia's death, Robert and Evelyn share grief, memories, and an understanding that requires no explanations. Their marriage is gentle, private, and intentionally unremarkable, a mercy after a lifetime of spectacle. By now, Evelyn has withdrawn almost completely from the public eye. Her daughter Connor becomes her center, her reason for continuing, and the one relationship that is free of calculation. When Connor is diagnosed with breast cancer, Evelyn watches helplessly as the one person she loves without compromise slips away. Connor's death leaves Evelyn emotionally hollow. Fame, legacy, and reputation lose all meaning. What remains is unfinished business. This brings the story back to Monique Grant, who has spent weeks listening to Evelyn confess sins, strategies, and heartbreaks while still not knowing why she was chosen. Evelyn finally answers the question she's been avoiding. The night Harry Cameron died was not just a tragic accident. It was a cover-up. Harry had been drinking. He lost control of the car. They crashed into another vehicle, killing its driver instantly. That driver was Monique's father. Evelyn survived. Harry did not, and Evelyn used her power, influence, and silence to protect Harry's legacy and herself. The truth was buried. The man in the other car became a footnote, a life erased so another could be remembered kindly. Evelyn did not choose Monique to ease her conscience. She chose her because Monique deserved the truth. Because Monique deserved the career that would come from telling it, and because Evelyn believes that confession matters more than forgiveness. She is not asking to be liked. She is asking to be honest, finally. Monique is devastated, furious, and forced to confront the complexity of the woman in front of her. Evelyn is not a villain. She is not a hero. She is a survivor who made unforgivable choices and refuses to pretend otherwise. Shortly after the interview ends and the book deal is secured, Evelyn Hugo dies. Her story will be told exactly as she intended, without revision, without mercy, and without her having to live through its aftermath. 7 husbands, 1 great love, and a legacy that demands to be remembered in full, not softened, not redeemed, just true. And that was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, a story about Hollywood, ambition, forbidden love, and the impressive emotional damage one woman managed to collect while still looking flawless. 7 husbands, 1 great love, and absolutely no time for emotional stability. So, if you don't want to read hundreds of pages of glamour, trauma, and strategically timed marriages, congratulations, you just survived the shortcut. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and recover emotionally in the comments. And if you're still wondering how Evelyn managed 7 husbands but couldn't escape heartbreak, yes, that's the point. See you in the next video, unless Evelyn married it first.